Go. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. These are just a few wise words from the last of the good emperors of Rome, Marcus Aurelius. This is a list of sources for my presentation. My name is Ben Rellis, and today I'm going to talk to you about the life of Marcus Aurelius, some obstacles, accomplishments, and benefits that his life gave to the world. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This is Marcus Aurelius, and to follow his lead, I'm going to tell you the truth about some of the obstacles that his life faced. The first one is the Antonine Plague. During Marcus Aurelius' rule, the Antonine Plague caused massive amounts of death and destruction to Rome. It brought about the death of a Roman emperor, and at the time, co-regent of Marcus Aurelius, Antoninus, whose name has become associated to this epidemic. The disease, at its peak, caused up to 2,000 deaths a day in Rome alone, and had a mortality rate of 25%. The plague devastated the Roman Empire and killed off as much as 1/3 of the Roman population, or 5 million people. While being emperor, every man, woman, or child is looking to you for protection, and when something so destructive wreaks havoc through your cities and is out of your power to control or stop, one can only imagine the grief and frustration added to your shoulders. Another obstacle that he faced during his reign was the Marcomannic War. These wars were a series of wars that lasted 14 years, from 166 to 180 AD. The wars pitted the Germanic tribes, the Marcani, the Quadi, and the Sarmatian Azigs against the Roman Empire. The conflicts were located up and down the entirety of the Danube River, the northeastern European border of the Roman Empire at the time. In the end, Rome succeeded and repelled the barbarian invasions. Though the battle had been won, the war was not over. The Marcomannic Wars were only a prelude to the invasions that eventually disassembled and ended the Western Roman Empire. Another obstacle that Marcus faced during his reign were Christian rebellions. In the modern times, we see Christianity as one of the most common religions, but in the days of Marcus Aurelius, Christianity was fairly new, and a previously established national religion had already been in existence for a long time. To go against the gods of Rome was to go against the emperor, and blasphemers were prosecuted. Marcus Aurelius had to deal with many Christian rebellions during his reign. If he would let them grow strong, it would have divided Rome and shattered the empire. Now let me tell you a few of his accomplishments. Marcus Aurelius, on his campaign between 170 and 180 AD, is when he wrote his Meditations, a journal of his personal thoughts on life, his experiences, and Stoic philosophy. Marcus was known as the Philosopher King for good reason. He studied Stoic philosophy very deeply and wrote often. His writings are a literary monument to a government of service and duty. Another accomplishment was that he put Rome first. As emperor, that is very difficult to do. Marcus's reign was stained with war and death, whether it be the barbarians clawing to get into Rome or the plague inside the walls of Rome. Death and anxiety loomed around the emperor. Still, in the dark times, he made time to be an active ruler. He found time for governmental affairs. He dictated letters. He heard court cases with a remarkable sense of duty. If it was his responsibility to do so, Marcus did it for the sake of Rome. And one of his greatest accomplishments before he died was that he kept the barbarians at bay. For years, the barbarians had been trying to break through the Roman ranks and invade the empire. During Marcus Aurelius' reign, the emperor managed to consistently stop that from happening. It wasn't until after Marcus's death that the Germanic finally broke through Roman ranks and eventually tore Rome to pieces. Most of Marcus's accomplishments or achievements were meant to benefit Rome, but they also benefited the world. His Meditations are considered one of the most famous books written by a monarch. These writings give insight to one of the greatest intellectual minds in human history, whose profound thoughts during times of peace and war give wisdom to any who will read them. He also shows the principles of a good leader. Marcus Aurelius' acts as an emperor show great examples of how a leader must be. He must be strong, unshakable, loyal to his people, and wise to protect and lead them accordingly. In his Meditations, we see how the philosopher king used the most powerful tool, his mind, to protect and defend Rome for his entire life, while also serving his people the best he could. The philosopher king impacted the entire path of Rome. His life taught many lessons on the power of the mind, and he showed how to rule for the people. In conclusion, I honor Marcus Aurelius for what he overcame during his life, for what he accomplished, and the benefits he left after his life. Marcus Aurelius was a great man, one who spent his time strengthening his mind and his empire for the future. His Meditations will last forever, and his life has permanently affected all of human history. Thank you.